between two all-stars. Who is going to win? A once-in-a-lifetime showdown. Hey guys, it's your host here, Pat, and we're here to witness the legendary match between the Rocket League ballers, Matthew and Tyrese. The score is tied 1-1. If Tyrese can make this field goal shot, he'll win the championship. But will Matthew be able to block this shot? Let's find out right now. This is your host, Dinkelberg, live from the stadium. As we can see, Tyrese getting revved up to hit the ball. Let's see who's gonna get it as he goes forward. Will Matthew be able to block it? Oh, he missed it. Fireball. Tyrese is the new champion. Bring that back. Replay that. Rewind it. Alright, as you can see, he lines it up. He goes to the right, and he gets the perfect shot in. Skadoosh type beat. Now, as we bring it back over to our host, Pete, can you tell us how he was able to break that shot? Please. I'm glad you asked, Dinkelberg. Now, despite the non-believers, Tyrese actually used calculus to share his shot at the championship. Now, before we get into see how calculus helped Tyrese, we're going to see how Matthew could have used calculus in order to deflect that shot expertly. Now, one way Matthew could have deflected the goal was using a related rates problem. He could have found the rate of decrease of the angle starting from the top of the goal as the ball went towards the bottom of the goal. And by using this rate, Matthew could have found the direct spot of the ball at a certain time as the ball went towards the end of the goal. But Matthew couldn't make those calculations in those split seconds, and it cost him the championship. Because he's trash! Now, if you want to look at a more precise way to solve this problem, every Rocket League player knows that a standard goal is 20 feet above the ground. And if the ball's initial position was 35 feet away from the goal, what is the rate of change of the top of the angle as the ball went towards the bottom right side of the goal? Now what we have here is a visual representation of our problem. What we're trying to find is d of theta over d of t, the change of the angle over the change in time. Now the ball is 35 feet away from the goal, and the goal is 20 feet high up, with an angle of 1.05 rating. This is all we need to figure out the problem. You might be wondering, how in the heck did we get 1.05 ratings? Well, let me show you. Well, since we know the two legs of the triangle, and we know it's a right triangle, all we have to do is set it equal to tangent of the opposite over adjacent, and then we find the inverse of tangent for that fraction, and then we get the answer, which is 1.05 radians. Now, since we know the angle, we decided to plug it into the equation tangent theta equals a over b. And we decided to use the equation because the ball is going in a straight line at an ending destination, which is the goal. So after we found the equation, we decided to find the derivative of it and plug in the numbers. A is 35, b is 20, d of a over d of t is negative 64 because the ball is decreasing its distance as it goes towards the goal at 64 feet per second, and d of b over d of t is 0 because the goal is not moving. So after that, we plugged in the angle, and then we found the answer to be negative 0.79 radians. And that's the number Matthew could have used to ensure Tyrese did not get his victory. But you know, that's tough. Now as we move over to Tyrese, he not only wanted to win the championship, but he wanted to break his field goal record of making the ball fly as fast as he can towards the goal. Now, in order to beat his original record, he needed the ball to go at least 60 feet per second as it reaches the goal. And coincidentally, that's exactly what he got! Now to find time, you need to find the distance traveled over the change in velocity. Now, the distance was 35 feet away from the goal, and the velocity was 64 feet. So you divide the two, and you get a quick 0.547 of a second. And for kicks and giggles, we find to use the shortest distance between the ball and the goal by using the Pythagorean theorem and plugging in a and b to find c, which turned out to be 40.3 feet. And so the new Rocket League champion is Tyrese! Congratulations. And Matthew, you could have won using calculus, is a loser.